the light turns green, and for some reason I wait, I hesitate. I don't know why. And I put my foot on the accelerator, and as I start to go through, some maniac, the only other car on the road, goes 60 miles an hour through the intersection running a red light, you know? And these things, they sort of make you think. I've had more than my fair share. Some of you folks know about the story up in Blue Mountain Lake when the tractor trailer took out my boat, trailer, van, everything else. And had I not ordered up a dozen crawfish to go fishing that day, the timing would have been not so good. So, you know, you think about these things. And the amazing thing is, I walk away without even a scratch, a stitch, or a broken bone. That is until this past March. Things changed a little bit on March 16th, to be exact. I remember that day. It was a beautiful, beautiful spring day. I'd been building a garage, working on the roof. And it was just a great day. You know, first day like a spring where it hit 60-some degrees. I took my flannel off. I'm working up and down the roof. I'm feeling good. I'm sweating. It's great, right? So not only that, but it happened to be my 20th wedding anniversary. So it's time to come down and have some lunch and make plans for the big night. And as I'm walking toward the ladder, I got a spring on my step. I am feeling great. Why not? I'm married 20 years to the dream girl in my life. I mean, I hit the lottery, and I knew it, and I'm living this dream, right? So I'm not really paying attention as I'm walking to the ladder, right? And we have what's called toe boards nailed along the bottom of the roof, and they're there to keep you from falling, you know? So, and you plant your foot against that when you go against the ladder. So I'm walking down toward the roof, right? And I sort of miss my step. I go over the toe board, and my eye goes to a 2x4 that's against the rung on the ladder. And right away, I knew I had a problem. And, you know, I slide, I go off the roof. I'm off the roof, right? And I did not have, you know, the benefit of the time to adjust. You know, like if you fall from the higher part of the roof, you could slide down and you could adjust your fall. But I didn't have that benefit. So here I am, you know, I'm in the air, and it was weird because I think I gained a little air. It was sort of like hitting a patch of ice. And I probably looked like, if the neighbor was watching, I probably looked like one of those dudes in the old Little Rascal shows that got hit by the car and goes flying in the air, right? So I gained a little elevation, and I'm in the air, and the problem is my head is lower than my feet. So I know I got a problem, right? I got to get my foot down. And this feeling of dread that overwhelmed me, it was incredible. It was like somebody shot me full of a drug, and I had to correct this. I had to make it right. I had to make my life right. I thought about my wife, and I kept thinking, I got to get my foot down. I got to get my foot down. And then the last thing I remember was I said to myself, I got this, right? And I couldn't figure out why I said that. It took me a week to figure it out. And I must have saw that my foot hit the ground first, because when I hit, I got knocked out. So here I am, you know, after that, a very fortunate individual to be standing here. I suffered a lot of injuries, but I recovered from them all. It makes you think about life, that moment that I was in the air, and that feeling of despair. I'll tell you, life is very precious. You need to live your life and count your blessings on a daily basis, because life is very precious and things could change and the outcome's not always so good. But in this case, it was, and I'm very fortunate, and I thank the Lord, and here I am. Okay, so I spent 8 days.